Welcome! Today's tutorial is Product Power, and to play this game you really only need 2 dice, but there are some optional items you might want. I call this a math mat. They usually come in rolls and people put them in their cupboards for their dishes. What it does is it helps deaden the sound, and it also sort of keeps your dice in one area instead of rolling all over the place. I think we've all experienced dice rolling off the table. It's not such a big deal if you just have a couple children at home, but if you have a classroom full of 30 students, this dice rolling on desks can make you lose your sanity. But if you don't have a math mat, just this little plastic thing, this is just a piece of foam from a piece of packaging. You can see that it's very quiet and it contains the dice very nicely. Or you can even use just a little container. It's a little bit louder, but it does a good job of containing your dice. So there's another optional item that you might want to have, and that is paper and pencil. And so I will explain what I do when I play this game. So I usually have it set up so that my own sons earn 1 minute of screen time for each equation that they write down. So for instance, you can roll and you can have it however you want. If you want the first person to yell out the product, gets a tally mark or whatever, but I like this way because you might have someone who is not as quick with their multiplication facts, and they're going to feel left out pretty fast. So this is a good way to kind of equalize the field. So we would just write down 5 times 2 equals 10. Okay, I just earned myself 1 minute of screen time. Okay, so you just keep going. You can have them take turns going back and forth, and this is really good for 3rd, 4th grade level. Now, if you have a student that's at a higher level or is really good with their multiplication facts, they might not be as challenged with just 2 dice. So you can add a 3rd dice, and that adds a whole nother element to it. So, all right, this is going to be a good one. So we can write down 6 times 2 times 1. Well, I know that 6 times 2 equals 12, and I know that any number times 1 equals itself. So there's a good way for you to add another dice, to add another little element of a challenge. Now, let's say that you don't have a 3rd or 4th grade, you have littler ones, you have kindergartners or 1st graders. You can do this with addition as well. So 6 plus 1, and so the answer to an addition problem is sum, so you could just call that game Sum Power. You could also do subtraction. And, oh, that one, well, I mean, I guess I could do it that way, but let me show you another one. With subtraction, you're going to want to help them put the larger number first. Okay, so that's a whole nother skill set, just determining which number is greater than. And I know that the secondary teachers are going to get mad at me for saying that, and we know that in real life, the larger number does not always come first. But if you're dealing with kindergartners, 1st graders, they don't understand the concept of negative integers yet, so we can just have them put the larger number first. And so we'll just write 3 minus 1 equals 2. And the answer to a subtraction problem is the difference. So this could be called difference power. So there's a couple different variations of games that you can play that honestly just takes 2 dice, but then you can add in the element of the paper and the pencil to have them record their equations, either 1 minute of outside free time or 1 minute of screen time, or you could set a time limit. How many equations can you do in 30 minutes, let's say? I hope that was helpful, and I hope you enjoy.